Hey everyone, and welcome to Godfo Gaming. We are the gaming side of the Godfo universe. Check out our parent channel in the link below for podcasts, short films, and more content coming. With that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Hey guys, I've been kind of down and out recently. Some personal family stuff, and I dislocated my left knee. I'm recovering from that, so I've literally been down and out. I did catch the Commanders Masters precons. Other than the slivers, I gotta tell you, I wasn't really impressed, and it's just because I have a personal spot for slivers, mainly because when I first started Magic, slivers, I had a friend that had a slivers deck, and it just wrecked me every time he played it. They're arguably one of the best tribal decks you could have, just because of how they work so well together. But I don't think it's worth the price. It's really infuriating me how precons are just going up and up and up and up in price. And I'm not even a big precon player. The only precon that I ever bought was a Casla. And I love that precon. I mean, I of course made some changes to it, but I don't know. It's just you want people to get into the game. You want them to get in at a good price point. I just don't like it creeping up. So I want to go a different direction, and I saw, the Final Fantasy and all the different licenses that are coming to Magic, but I kind of wanted to take a step back because I noticed not too long ago, maybe a couple of months, 2 months maybe, that Lord Xander, the collector, had dropped in price from where he was, and that got me curious because I got a friend that he can't ever get his 6-7 count commander out. Cost commander out, and I was like, hey man, I bet I could build a Lord Xander deck, because it's kind of a meme, Lord Xander, kind of a meme getting him out. I was like, I bet I can get him out pretty quickly, so I built this deck to capitalize on his low cost right now as far as money goes, and just to make something fun with him, especially on a budget. I tried to keep it under 150, I did, and the theme of this deck is getting Lord Xander out, getting his enter the battlefield and exit battlefield, and of course attack ability, because he has 3 abilities. But getting him out and then being able to copy him and being able to capitalize off of his middle ability, of course, when he attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded down. I think he's a viable commander. I don't think he's OP, of course, because people want to hit him as soon as he comes out, and he has a high cost, and he has to attack for that ability to go off. But I think he's cool. I think, he kind of came out, he was kind of a meme instantly. People are like, oh, he's OP, and then it was like, no, he sucks, because that's what you get off Reddit, right? But let's go through it real quick. This was just a fun, I kind of wanted to take a step back because of this lull in Magic until they start, Wizards start putting out viable things. So this is a fun video. Anyway, so creatures... Balustrade Spy, flying. Whenever he enters the battlefield, target player reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a land card, then puts this card to the graveyard. Alright, that's getting people to mill more. Body Double, that's for copying Lord Xander or some of the creatures coming up here. Burnished Heart, that get mana to get him out quicker, or to get him out again, because he is going to be killed one way or another. People are going to target him. Clone, same thing as Body Double, basically. Consuming Aberration, this is a great card. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards. That goes great with our theme of milling. And copying. You can get this guy out, copy him. His second ability is whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land card, and then puts those cards into their graveyard. So more milling. Dax Duplicate. Same thing. You can copy Consuming Aberration or... Xander, and of course, whenever you copy Xander, the Legends effect kicks in. So one of them dies, you can choose, the copy, and so that exit. So you get the enter ability and the exit ability right there. Dreamscape Artist, discard a card, sacrifice a land, so draw up to 2 basic land cards. That's a land draw right there. Evil Twin, of course, another copy. Fell into the third path, create a token that's a copy of target creature card in your graveyard, except it's an artifact. In addition to its other types, it gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. That's actually cool for not only other monsters, but for Xander. If you want to keep Lord Xander in your graveyard, you can drop copies of him every turn. Fleet Swallower. Whenever it attacks, target player puts the top half of his or her library rounded up into his or her graveyard. There you go, another Lord Xander middle ability. Geode Golem, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast. It has trampled. You may cast your commander from the command zone without paying its mana cost. That's a way to maybe get Xander out, cheat him out quicker. Hellkite Courser, that's a 6/5 dragon with flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may put a commander from your own command zone to the battlefield. It gains haste, return it to the command zone at the beginning of the next end step. You get that enter ability, you get that attack. Again, with it's another way to cheat Xander out. Jax is the Troublemaker. Discard a card, create a token. It's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, and whenever this creature dies, draw a card, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery, and it also has Blitz. Again, for Xander or copying any other cards. Lazav, Dimir Mastermind, Hexproof. Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may have Lazav, Dimir Mastermind become a copy of that card, except its name is Lazav, Dimir Mastermind. It's legendary in addition to its other types and has Hexproof in its ability. A great way to copy a card we want. Copy Xander, copy someone else's card. Mirko Vosk, Mind Drinker. He has a 2/4 with flying. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals 4 land cards and puts those cards into his or her graveyard. Again, great milling, and he has flying, so it's usually pretty easy to hit people with. Mirror Image, that's another copy card. Mirror Hall Mimic, that's another copy card. It has Disturb. And you can become an enchant creature at the beginning of your upkeep. Create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types. If Ghastly Mimicry we put into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So that's a really good copy card. Mortivore. Mortivore's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. Great for mill. Necrogoyf, however you say that. Power is equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards at the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player discards a card. You see the theme we're going with here. Phantasmal Image is another copy. If you attacked Protean Raider, if you attack with a creature this turn, you may have Protean Raider enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. There you go, another way to copy. Ruin Crab, I love Ruin Crab. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, each player or each opponent mills 3 cards. He's a 1-drop for that. That's pretty cool. Sewer Nemesis. As he enters the battlefield, he's a player. His power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in the chosen player's graveyard. Whenever the chosen player casts a spell, that player mills a card. Again, like some of these other guys. Solemn Simulacrum is land draw. Stunt Double is a copy. Undercover Operative is a copy. Except it comes in with a shield counter on it if you control the creature you're copying. And Viziera of Many Faces. I mean, like I said, there's a Sakashima you could put in here. Some of those guys that are a little bit more expensive. Again, I was just trying to keep it under 150. But there's better cards you can put in there if you wanted to. Sorceries, cut your losses. Mills half their library. Target player mills half their library, rounded down. Mill Diabolic Tutor, you know what that is. Fractured Sanity. Each opponent mills 14 cards. And you can cycle it. And when you cycle Fractured Sanity, each opponent mills 4 cards. Maddening Cacophony. Each opponent mills 8 cards if the spell was kicked. Instead, each opponent mills half their library, rounded up. It's a little pricey, but it works so good with this theme. Mind Sculpt. Target opponent puts the top 7 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Razakat's Right is a mana-wise, very costly tutor, basically. Stolen Identity. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature, but you can give it it's cipher, so you can attach this to a creature whenever they attack, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can cast the spell again. A copy of it. Cackling Counterpart. That's a mimic token, basically, a copy token. Chaos Warp. You know what that does. Counterspell. Dark Ritual. Didn't say please. Counter target spell. Essence Flux. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its control. If it's a spirit, put a 1/1 counter on it. You can get some enter the battlefield, triggering again. And I think exiting the battlefield too, because it's exiled. So yeah, I think that would, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that would trigger Lord Xander's exiting ability too, his death ability. Ghostly Flicker. Exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and lands you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under their control. Negate. Siren's Ruse. Exile target creature you control to far, and of course it comes back. Safari's Time Twist, exile target opponent, permanent you control, return that card to the battlefield under its control at the beginning of the next instant enters the battlefield as a creature, and it's with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Undying Evil, target creature gains Undying until end of turn. That's a cool way to kind of save guys or save our commander. You don't really mind losing Xander that much. I mean, if you are able to just attack with him once, you've milled one player's library halfway through. So I wouldn't really planning on using this as a 100% mill deck. I mean, that is not a bad strategy. Milling is not a bad strategy, especially if the game's been going on a while, or if you smack somebody twice, maybe with Xander. That's not a bad strategy. But really boosting your creatures and using Xander's inner abilities to kind of just trouble people, and you can swing with your creatures as well. And it's an annoying deck. I think that's fun. K is Ghost Forms, the enchant creature or planeswalker you control. When an enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Megrim, whenever an opponent discards a card, it deals 2 damage to that player. You can kill someone very easily with that. Mirror March, whenever a non-token creature is into the battlefield under your control, flip a coin until you lose a flip. For each flip you won, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Mirror Mockery, enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. Exile that token at the end of combat. So you guys get it. It's a simple deck. I think it's fun. It's budget. Whenever I play tested it, it's worked rather well. It's basically the idea of getting Xander out and getting him copied and just messing with his abilities, or getting one of your big hitters out like Consuming Aberration or Fleet Swallower, or any of the other ways. It's basically being able to copy other monsters and your opponent's monsters as well. It's a fun deck. I've been able to get Xander out as early as turn 4, turn 5. Of course, with the right draw, that's how everything goes. But like everything, just give it a test. Play test it, see if you like it. I have. It's fun. I'll be more up to date as Wizards put some stuff out. Again, I wasn't really excited with the Commander's Masters, and I saw a lot of people covering them, and this just stuck out to me as something fun to do. So, and I'll probably be doing some more of these too, like guys that were either overlooked or I think treated differently, such as Xander. But anyway, I hope you guys have fun. Check it out. Like and subscribe, and peace.